presence, and thank you for being here today. We're here to speak out on behalf of this family, that the entire country, the entire nation, witnessed what happened to this mother's children and friends and family. What we all witnessed was a Galveston City police officer off of duty, using his badge and his radio as a method of intimidation and as an excuse to justifiably physically assault pedestrians and bystanders and pool goers that day. When you watch what this cop did, when you watch his behavior, when you listen to his foul, bigoted language, you would see that this is an officer who should never be allowed to be a police officer anywhere in Texas or the nation. When you watch this cop beat this young man who's laying on the ground, who's already subdued, he's beating him over and over again. He's punching young girls. He's assaulting other people there at the party. And we learned just this morning that the district attorney's office is saying that we're not going to charge him. But what the DA needs to understand, that we understand, that for generations, the Galveston City Police Department has been victimizing men and people of color in this city for generations. And when we all watch a video that clearly shows your officer breaking the law, and then to lie and say he was on duty working officer security at the time, then the apartment complex comes forth and says that's not true. He was not working for us at the time. So he had no legal justification or discretion to intervene what was happening at the party and do what he did. But he saw some black kids at the party. And as soon as he comes over there, he's saying, what are you doing over here? Do you live here? They say, no, we're guests. He says, well, you got to get the F out of here. That's not his place. That's not his responsibility. That's violating their human and civil rights to enjoy a pool because they're guests of a tenant. But this officer beat the hell out of those kids. This officer physically attacked those kids. But I want to say this to all law enforcement agencies in Galveston. How long do you think that we as black people going to continue to allow you to do what you're doing to our people before we rise up and say enough is enough? How long will you kill our women in jails in Galveston County? How long will you beat our men in jail and they die suspiciously in Galveston County police custody? How long will we watch videos of you breaking the law and beating the hell out of our children before we stand up and say enough is enough and take matters into our own hands? What are you trying to force us to do? Hell, when we got a video in Galveston County, we still can't get justice. So what's left for the people to do? We're asking for the Department of Justice and the FBI to please step in and investigate this case. There's no way under the sun of heaven that this officer should not be fired and in jail. We demand his immediate termination. And we demand that the district attorney's office bring it before a grand jury, show all of the facts, and show the lying statements he already made, and indict this man for the charges that are appropriate and what he should be in jail for. This is wrong. What this mother witnessed was wrong. What our family went through is wrong. But we are sick and tired of you telling us it's okay. We're sick and tired of you telling us just live with it and get over it. Even when we got a video of you breaking the law and you violating human and civil rights, you still tell us that means nothing to us. Well, the day will come where we will make you respect that we're human beings too. Mother, tell what happened that day.
Yes, sir. So me and my kids were at the pool celebrating a birthday. And somebody walks up, and we did not know he was an officer or, nothing like that. And he was like, are y'all residents here? And I was like, no, sir, we're not. We're guests here. And he was like, well, y'all don't have wristbands, so y'all need to get the F up and leave. And I was like, sir, but we're guests here. I was trying to explain so maybe he can validate it, and then, we can continue on having this child's birthday party. Well, he was having none of it. And then the kids were like, hey, you don't have to talk to us like that. you know, et cetera, et cetera. And after that, we started, he radioed or whatever, and the other mom was like, come on, he's calling laws, let's go, let's go. And one of the videos that's been posted, you can hear and see us as we gather and collect our things to leave. So we were leaving, and he's exchanging words with the kids, which you're an officer and an adult, much less, and you're sitting there, you know, exchanging words or whatever with children, and then you run up and he punches my 13-year-old son in the face, and then the mother, Miss Biv McGuire, stands up and she does like this to protect him, and as she's protecting him, she gets hit in the face 3 times. And then after that, he's like wild-eyed and runs up across the pool to like that floor mat back there and just punches my daughter in the face, who's 14, another child. And then Beverly and Larry decided to get the kids and get them out of there. Well, at this point, I was leaving at first, but you done hit my child, so now I'm not leaving. You know what I'm saying? It's there now. You done hit my kids. So I'm all upset and I'm screaming like, you know, so at this point, I realized I didn't pull out my phone. So he had ran and slipped on the deck. And so he was like, get back, get back. So I stepped back to allow him to get up. No one was hitting him on the ground. You know what I'm saying? You're down. If we were attacking you, we had plenty, you know, but we stood back, allowed you to get up. We weren't right on top of your clothes, but we weren't right on top of you. He got up and he ran, and I'm like, I'm staying, you know, safe distance from him, but to where I can see him, and I'm screaming and shouting, you know, half the things I don't even remember because I was, you know, and he would not identify himself at which police department. There's officers that come from Hitchcock to work as courtesy officers or side jobs in Houston, just wherever they come. I mean, they're making a living for their family. Anyway, so he wouldn't identify himself. At this point, somebody tells me, come on, and I start to leave. I don't know why I start to leave, because I regret it, because I would have gotten to see what I caught at the end of the video. So some little boy, because I was in there by myself, not little boy, let me clarify, I found out he's 25. But at the time, you know, he's black and he doesn't look very old. He walks up, and I still don't even know his face. And he was like, you're not going to touch her, because he had done seen him attacking us. And I guess he didn't want me to get hurt or whatever. And I sent thanks out to you. I really wish you would contact me so I can say thank you. Anyway, and I hear the cop saying, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And then I hear him grunt and hit him. But I'm not thinking. I'm walking out the gate. And when I look, I hear my boyfriend hollering, hey, they're attacking, they're, you know, beating on people or something to that effect. I turn around and I look, and you can see through the fence him getting hit. But as I go over the fence, you get a clearer view of what happened. Well, another officer showed up at that point, and he detained me, because he was like, detain her. So I don't care. I didn't do nothing wrong. My children were attacked. I'm not running. If my kids attacked you, I would, you know, jutted out of there. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever you are, because you're not even a cop. You're not even a man. Sorry. And they handcuffed me, and
What's sad about this is, what you witness on the video is a thug with a badge. That's what you witness, a thug with a badge. He's nothing more than a criminal who is employed by a law enforcement agency that's backing that type of conduct and behavior. You're punching kids in the face. You're punching women in the face. You're attacking people who have nothing to do with it at all. And now you want to tell us that he should not be charged? To hell with a criminal justice system that covers up and protects criminal conduct by police officers that's captured on video that the world can see. There will be a day of reckoning one day if you don't change the direction in which you prosecute bad police behavior when it's criminal in Galveston County, Texas.
Absolutely. Dr. Candice Matthews, the National Minister of Politics for the Black Panther Nation. And that video was unacceptable. We've seen so many civil rights violations that were violated. In fact, do y'all know today is the 60th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act, and we are still fighting for our civil rights because of this foolishness? I mean, we look directly at this video and see this man assaulting children. You assaulting women. You assaulting young adults over something that you provoked because you was racially profiling these people. That is unacceptable. All because you wanted to know if they supposed to be at these apartment complexes. But see, what you didn't know, Officer Revere, I know the person that ran that apartment complex. And I talked to them on the way here. And they are not up to coup on what you did. They are totally embarrassed and they don't have no part of what you've done. So I'm looking at this where it says that you felt that you didn't use excessive use of force. You know what, you're absolutely right. What you did, you used an overdose of excessive use of force. And you just went on an assaulting spree, assaulting everybody. And you think you still don't have that badge. You think you still don't have that TCO certification. I do not think so. Galveston PD, you need to do your job. Because this, what we're looking at here, this is because somebody knows somebody. But guess what? We didn't come down here from Houston, Texas to deal with this little back alley deals that y'all over here doing. You will be exposed, you will be held accountable, and you are going to lose your job, and that is what's going to happen. How dare you put your hands on children? How dare you put your hands on women? I can understand if there was an actual issue that was happening where you had to use of force. No, sir. You provoked this from the beginning, and you're going to lose your job at the end.
Good afternoon. First of all, my empathy goes out to the victims, truly victims of this egregious act. Again, I heard some great speakers before me talk about this justice system. You can't say justice really matters when we see it only matters when your pigmentation is pale face. We must understand what's at stake here. As our good sister just said, today is the 60th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act. We have people in law enforcement and in these governmental offices that want to roll us back, who want us back in chains on the plantation. We are not going back, and we will fight for everyone. This family was just trying to cool off. We have an unimaginable heat wave right now. And instead of having empathy and just sympathy for this family and having a good time, you wanted to use not excessive force, reckless endangerment to this family, to this woman. How can you call yourself a man punching a woman one more time? How can you call yourself a man of honor, protecting and serving by punching women, dog? This is unacceptable. I'm not going to even call you an officer. You're lower than that. You're lower than a man for putting your hands on people that can't defend themselves. But they called the right ones because we're going to stand in the gap. And you won't put your hands on us. Thank you.
Can you say your name for our writers?
Yes, Eugene Howard, Visionary Outreach, Texas, NAACP.
We'll take your questions.
Today, when I spoke to police department public information officers, they say that they're thoroughly investigating this incident. Are you hopeful that at the end of this investigation, charges may come around?
We're praying that they will do the right thing. But to be honest with you, you have video. You have the fact that he was not on duty. That was proven he was not on duty. The apartment complex admitted he was not working for them. He lied to his own department and said he was working there as off-duty security, which was a lie. What's also interesting to me, did they take him and do a blood alcohol draw for him? Because he looked like in the video he had been drinking when he approached them. After all, he was off duty. And why didn't he just step away and call for backup to come and deal with this situation, since he was not on duty and all that was happening was in his mind they were trespassing? Someone with a much more intelligent thought process within his own department should look at this, question him, look at his statement, speak to the apartment complex, look at all of the videos, speak with the victims in this case, and I assure you, this man not only should be fired, he should be indicted for what he did. Show me one parent in Texas that can be displeased with their child, and by displeasure of the language with that child, the parent has right to punch that child that they gave birth to over and over again on video and not go to jail.
No.
And not have those kids stripped from them by the courts. So why are we treating police officers like they're above the law when it clearly shows on video he broke the law, and the statements that he gave to try to back up the criminal behavior was false also? How much do we have to accept?
Have you tried to talk to Revis yet, or do you plan to?
When you say
or-
Revis,
Talking about the officer.
Yes.
you mean Officer Revis?
Yes.
The one that did this?
Have you tried it all? Has he tried
Let
to
me,
reach out to you?
let me say this. We're praying that Officer Revis, his department will investigate appropriately and deal with it appropriately. We're praying that the district attorney's office here will do the same. But as far as me talking to Officer Revis, I guarantee you, had I been at the pool, he wouldn't have did that to me. I guarantee you, had other black men like me been at that pool, he wouldn't have came over to doing what he did. And in fact, had I been at the pool and watching him punch women and children, I don't give a damn about that badge he had on his chest. I would have dealt with that coward the way he needs to be dealt with. Because no real man will punch women and children. That's a real man. That's a man that won't fight men, but that's a man that puts his hands on women. So I know how to deal with a power puff. So no, we haven't talked to him, but I will say this, Mr. Reeves, if you want to have a face-to-face dialogue, I ain't hard to find.
Have you been able to show him? Did he live on that property, and was he a courtesy officer? Or even if he wasn't acting as it that day, does he live there?
What we know is the apartment is saying he was not working for them. That's what we know. He was not working for them. Now, what is the extent of his relationship there? I don't know. You have to speak with them, and I encourage you to call them. Is he a resident? How long has he been there? Get these questions answered for yourself. But at the end of the day, we're here to stress the point. The video proves what this man did was criminal, and he should be charged. He should be fired. Can you imagine if a video came out and an off-duty police officer was being jumped on like that by some citizens? Those citizens would be under the jail. Right? This man can punch women, several different women, punch children in the face with closed fists, cursing and using foul language, and it's all captured on video. But yet you want to tell us in Galveston, Texas, that is the standard of all law enforcement officers. Well, if that is the standard, you have lowered your standards so low, it's time we put them in the grave. Because something has to change in Galveston County. Look at the history of this place. Black people have been fighting for generations for police misconduct, fighting for generations to clean that up, fighting for generations in Galveston County. We want a new day, we want new treatment, we want new attitudes. It's not changing. And I'm going to say this. Do you all remember a few years back when the Houston Astros players went to San Luis Hotel, and the Galveston City police officer, he didn't like something that he heard from the baseball players, and they beat the hell out of those baseball players. And subsequently, they was charged with crimes, but the charges was dismissed because they had the complexion for the protection plus money. Look, these people will do this to anybody if you allow them to continue to get away with said behavior. Any more questions?
So just the other day, the chief asked for additional video of what took place that day. Has this new video that you're going to share with us here in a little, has that been turned over to police?
I'm not sure about that, but let me tell you what's strange about that. Now, Mr. Chief, the apartment complex got video that covers the entire pool. The apartment complex got video that covers the entire pool area. You got all the video footage you need.
But my
You
thing,
got all the video footage you need.
why did you look at the video that already has been put out when Channel 13 put the video out? So we seen the same thing. So he telling us that he's not seeing what we see?
But all he gotta
That's
do
crazy.
is just pull the video from the apartment complex. It shows the entire incident. See, so for him to say to you, well, if there's any additional video, please send it to us. That's him, quote unquote, pissing on your leg, telling you it's raining.
Oh.
That man knows he has access to all the videos as necessary. What we need him to do is stop playing games with the intelligence of the people
We're playing big face.
and be honest with the people. Stop treating us like we watched a debate that our eyes didn't see.
Yeah.
We watched a video that was real. Show us that you would demonstrate to the citizens, no matter what your race or class is in this city, that we would never tolerate this kind of behavior by a law enforcement officer.
Show some
We
integrity.
wait to see it. We wait to see it. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm telling you. When people believe that the powers that be become so tyrannical, and they feel that they are under such a degree of stressful oppression, and that they believe the system is against them and will not stand up for them when they're victims, they will reach a level of mental and psychological depravity where they take matters into their own hands.
Hello.
It is the system's responsibility to say to the people that will not be necessary when a law enforcement officer is doing something that's criminal and unbecoming of the conduct of a law enforcement officer in Texas. We protect you, we stand for you. So we're going to see, because they don't have a history of standing up for citizens, especially those of color, who've been the victims of police misconduct.
And the chief of police is not being transparent either, so he needs to stop that damn line. He know doggone well he done seen that video. They just need to do their job. And they need to show the people of Galveston that they are zero tolerance when it comes to that type of behavior with any police officer.
So to go with that question, the person who did report, have they at least been interviewed by detectives to say what has happened? It was your video. Okay. Have you spoken with detectives?
Yes, I have, and from what my understanding is that they're doing everything they can to do it, but I mean, I don't know what legal, these guys have more, you guys have more understanding on how that works, but he's doing everything that he can to, get to the bottom of it. They are having, third-party, police departments, 2 or 3 of them, step in to, do the internal investigation. My thing is, though, what I want to get out there is if these police officers that do crimes, like 99, even 85% sure, they should be arrested immediately, just like everybody else, and prove their innocence. You know what I'm saying? It's never going to stop if they always have someone shielding them. It's never going to stop. That policy needs to change.
Then let me address this. Call the Galveston County, or call the City of Galveston Police Department and ask them, when your officers are doing off-duty contracting jobs, are they required to be in uniform? Ask them, are they required to be in uniform? You will see that the attire that he had on that day in that video proves he was not working a second job. Proves he got pissed because he saw too many Negroes at the pool,
At the pool.
who he felt did not have the right to be there, and he was going to go over there and play wide earth and evict the Negroes out of the pool and out of the apartment complex when they had a legal right to be there because they were guests of a tenant. Even the mother tried to explain that to him, but of course, when you're poisoned with that bigoted mindset, you don't want to hear reason. You've already made your mind up and you're acting on it, no matter how wrong you may be.
And then why you try to lie? This is my thing. Why you try to lie and say that the apartment manager called you? The apartments do not want to have no affiliation with you because they do not uphold what you did. So your lies is not going to save you, sir. What's going to save you is for you to be indicted and what also for your T-close certification to be revoked. You have no reason to have no badge protecting and serving anybody with those type of racist ideologies that you've done, and you like to put your hand and have fight clubs with people and stir up foolishness. This is crazy.
Any more questions?
Yeah, a few more questions. So any criminal investigation like this, where it deals with a police department, is going to have a third-party investigation. What agency do y'all think should have stepped in already?
Well, let me say this. I don't have faith in the Texas Rangers. These law enforcement agencies love to bring in the Rangers, and I call them the Texas racist Rangers, because they don't have a discriminating kind to African Americans and state of Texas. We want the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division to step in and conduct a thorough, independent investigation. But they normally only do something when the local agency fails to do so themselves. So in this case, if Galveston does the right thing, I don't see the DOJ moving in to usurp the investigation to take over the prosecution of it. It's only when the local agency refuses to. Next question.
Okay, so y'all say you want the officer fired, but state law dictates under civil service that there is a process that's followed. Are you saying you want Galveston Police Department to violate state law and not finish the investigation?
That's a good question. I'm glad you raised that. Now I want you to go do your homework. An officer can be fired because of misconduct, and he can appeal his firing in a civil service hearing with the union. So we're not asking them to break the law. We're asking them to do what is necessary within their agreement with the union agency to fire an officer when he's been a part of criminal conduct and behavior. And then if he does not believe the termination was justified, that's why he has a civil service hearing. So no, we're not asking for that. We're saying do your damn job.
Exactly.
How many times do you have to watch the same beating on video? How many more angles do we need? This was not a prize fight. This wasn't a pay-per-view event. This was an unjustly beating. An officer taking it upon himself to take authority into his own hands. Not a judge, not a jury, his fisticuffs.
And if you do your research, you will see that officers have been terminated before they have the quote-unquote civil service hearing. And a couple of them have been rehired after having a civil service hearing. So they don't have to wait to terminate before that.
Quannell, can you tell us what exactly you guys witnessed in these videos that are out there?
We witnessed a thug with a badge calling himself a law enforcement officer. We witnessed a hoodlum. We witnessed a child abuser, woman beater, officer hired by the City of Galveston Police Department, who was nothing more than a criminal with a badge, who was nothing more than a thug doing whatever the hell he wanted to do. If you don't believe me, just watch the videos for yourself. Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder could see instantly what was happening on that video. So what we want is justice for this family. I don't know what's taking so long. After watching those videos and watching and reading the lying statements that he's giving, he should have been fired already, or at the minimum suspended without pay. But that's not happening here. But it's all right. We're going to see how this plays out.
So before the press conference today, any chance you'd spoken with the chief? Are y'all in talks? Tell us a little bit more about
I
that.
sent him a letter on Friday that we're coming down here for this press conference in a while.
Anything more to that? Nothing more?
That's a private letter between him and I. So if he wants to make it public, he can do that. Any more questions? Thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence and your patience. And stay cool.
All right, folks, I'm going to upload the video in a little bit. I'm going to get it from Candice and Quannell shortly. I'll be uploading the video. It's going to be on our website, but I'm going to upload it right now as soon as I get it. And then, like I told you guys, hold on.
We're having another press conference on Friday dealing with an African-American family in Manville who have been terrorized by a racist white neighbor who hanging on his property, supporting Donald Trump signs, F Joe Biden signs, and hung some nooses from the tree and said he had something for those kids if they came back in his property playing. We're talking about little bitty kids.
Oh my goodness. All right, friends. Yeah, give me about 5 minutes. I'm gonna put them together and put them out there. I'll be back. Can y'all stop asking over and over all the time? Like, you guys know I'm gonna show you. Just have patience. Thank you.